I see stuff like that. It frustrates me that we were not able to democratize Cuba, you know?
Welcome back to CBS Mornings, and welcome to a live look at Rome, Italy, about to see the country's most right-wing government since World War II. Giorgia Meloni, she is the leader of the Brothers of Italy party, and she is in line to become prime minister. Chris Lipsley is in Rome with reaction to Sunday's big vote. Chris, good morning. This is historic on a couple fronts, it seems. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Tony.
Why was it the most right-wing since World War II? I wonder. Interesting. Just much to think about in that regard. What happened during World War II? What was the build-up to World War II like? With respect to, like, people that, I don't know, feel the same way that this one does. Meloni, you know? Did they like the top of the hour ad breaks, or did they hate them? They probably hated them and didn't want you to fucking subscribe to avoid them, I assume. Because at the top of the hour, there is a 60-second ad break. Yeah, that's right. The real fascism, the real fascist is at the top of the hour. And if you no longer want to see those ads, all you need to do is subscribe. Yes, throw your tomatoes. I will make the pizza sauce. All of your tomatoes, marron. Talula, HTTFD, thank you for the 5 gifted subs, allowing 5 people to no longer see the ads. That's right, you can also avoid them if you are lucky and get gifted a sub, but if not, you need to subscribe for $5 or for free with a Twitch Prime. Here's the 1-minute ad break now. Have you no shame? I have no shame. Mamma mia, that's a spicy Mussolini.
Yeah, it's a stunning victory for Giorgia Meloni and her Brothers of Italy party. Stunning because they were just a fringe party up until a few years ago, and stunning because of Italy's disastrous history, the last time a hard-right party rose to power. Her name is Giorgia Meloni, and to the Brothers of Italy party, she's here to put traditional Italians first.
The fundamental problem in Italy is becoming the illegal immigration. Too many immigrants.
We want, for example, to protect the traditional family, a family composed by a mom, a dad, and sons, for example.
How does she do that?
Not admitting the marriages between people from the same gender.
Italy's.
Damn, that's sick, man. You're really destroying it. Really protecting the family there. Hasan's Nubide, Hasan's Dusty Fanny, and also Magical, thank you for the 5 gifted subs, allowing 15 people to no longer see the ads.
Conservative superstar fiercely opposes adoptions and surrogacy for same-sex couples. People like Alessandro Valera and his husband, who have a little girl.
She's trying to delete us and send a message that we are the cause of, we are the reason why Italy doesn't have enough children, we are the reason why we have demographic problems, we are the reason why the family is not holding strong, and we are scared.
The 45-year-old firebrand insists she's no fascist, just a proud conservative and nationalist, comfortable, nevertheless, with some of the hallmarks of Italian fascism, like this motto: God, fatherland, and family. Exactly 100 years ago this fall, fascist dictator Benito Mussolini staged his historic March on Rome, eventually marching the country into 2 decades of dictatorship and alongside Hitler into World War II. Neither Il Duce nor his fascist party survived, but several descendants are active in politics today, like his granddaughter Rachele Mussolini, a member of the Brothers.
Why are you racist towards Italians? You even wore a shirt emphasizing the fact that, and we're proud of the fact that because you're a hypocrite and racism is okay towards certain groups who don't go around the bitching about it on Twitter. But when other groups are attacked, it is a huge problem. You always have been racist towards Italians, and now you're trying to justify it over a minority of them. You do better. Maron! How dare you? I can't tell if that's a joke or if that's serious. The reason communism was so powerful in Italy is because of the workings of Antonio Gramsci, one of the greatest Marxist philosophers in history. He was jailed for 8 years under Mussolini. He was the founder of the Communist Party. He wrote Cultural Hegemony, very good interpretation of culture and intellectualism under capitalism. That's crazy, man. Thanks, Cal Humingham. An anarchist and a miskid, but actually reads books, it turns out, surprisingly. What an interesting person this guy is. Surprising.
Of Italy.
So has your last name been a hindrance or a help?
It's been both, she says. Certainly when I entered politics, my last name was a springboard.
It helped. You know, name recognition is big, says the granddaughter of Benito Mussolini. That's cool. It's whatever, dude.
A springboard in a party with the very symbol that's on Benito Mussolini's tomb.
With the historical flame of the old party.
But if there was no connection with that,
I mean, they just straight up are like, no, it's good. There is a connection and it's good. Which is really funny because, like, on the one hand, they're like, no, it's a different. But then also they're like, no, it's a historical. You know, we're a fan of history. We're a fan of Il Duce's history. You know, it's not a big deal. Wearing a fucking New York shirt.
fascism,
No,
wouldn't they?
no.
But why wouldn't they change their symbol then?
No.
A red flag, if there ever was one, says Edith Brooke, a renowned poet and Holocaust survivor.
Giorgia Meloni says there's nothing to worry about. But are you worried?
Yes, very much. Very, very worried. I think that she is fascist.
Now, to be clear, Giorgia Meloni rejects that fascist label. When it comes to foreign policy, she's been very supportive of Ukraine, but that's going to be tested by the other.
That's my favorite part, is that, like, fascism is about to overtake Italy, and, like, CBS Good Morning America is like, but what is their stance on Ukraine? I mean, they say they're fascist, but also they are supportive of Ukraine, so maybe it's not all bad. Okay, got it. Thanks.
Other parties in her coalition who have deep ties to Russian President Vladimir Putin. Tony?
Rejects the label, but not all of the slogans. Chris Lisley for us on a historic day in Rome. Chris, thank you very much.
That's great, man. That's great. Oh, wow. Why is there a red wave in Europe? I want to hear from the esteemed political commentator with the most astute observations.
Rejection across Europe, and you're seeing it in the United States, a rejection of the pandemic measures that were implemented and would have been far more severe here if the Democratic Party had its way. Do not miss the macro picture. Now, and let me know if you've been following this. If you're in Italy right now and you know you're still alive, you can just comment below and let us know what you've been experiencing there. So, Giorgia Meloni and the party is the Brothers of Italy party, and there's a right-wing coalition. They won. Okay, Sunday's Italian elections, just to be clear. Mm-hmm. Now, of course, you see this right away from the media, and this is their playbook. Their claim is right away, this is a far-right fascist new government.
Dog. What more can they fucking say? They literally are, though. Like, Stephen Crowder's like, these guys are not fascists. Italians are like, no, they are fascists. It's good. Stephen Crowder's like, no. You don't understand. They're not fascists. And then you ask the Italian on the ground, like, are you fascists? Like, yes, what? What of it? Yeah, fascista. It's good. You know, the three colors, the flame. It's a history. But you don't understand. Mussolini, he was very good. Misunderstood guy. Stephen Crowder's like, but are they saying they're fascist? And the Italians are like, yeah, no, they are. And then Stephen Crowder's like, but like they don't mean it. Like fasci, like the fasci, like the you know, the fucking weapon. You guys just, you don't understand. It's just, they have a fascination with old tools. That's what it is.
Meloni is young, she's well-spoken, she's charismatic, and politically she's very far to the right. She's widely...
Wait, I want to watch this Vice video, actually. Where is the Vice video? This is their TikTok.
We're here in the town of Perugia in central Italy, where right now Giorgia Meloni is giving a speech ahead of this country's elections.
Okay, this TikTok is terrible. You don't understand it. Oh, Maron, it's fucked up. It's fucked up.
Tutti non ha bisogno di presentazioni. Siete qui per lei. Vi prego di accogliere con un applauso che merita la Presidente di Fratelli d'Italia, Giorgia Meloni.
We're here in the town of Perugia in central Italy, where right now Giorgia Meloni is holding a rally before this country's election. Meloni is young, she's well-spoken, she's charismatic, and politically she's very far to the right. She's widely expected to be the next prime minister of this country.
Perché non verrò a raccontarvi balle, vi dirò la realtà, la verità di come vedo l'attuale condizione italiana. Il declino non è un destino.
If Meloni wins this weekend's election, it'll be a welcome change to people like 23-year-old Giuseppe Carbonaro, who drove an hour to see her.
Shut the fuck up. This man's last name is Carbonaro, dude. No, not a real country. I take it back. Stop it. I mean, dude, this is like, no, you can't do this to me. Personally, okay? You are like, Hasan, stop making fun of Italians. And then there are whole ass people with the last name Giuseppe Carbonara. Hey, I'm Giuseppe Carbonara over here. What do you want me to do? I'm human, dude. This is insanity. It's like naming a German guy Pretzel Schnitzel, dude. What the fuck? Hey, I'm John Spaghetti over here. Fuck. Gabish. Hey. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Speak.
Why are you supporting Giorgia Meloni in this election?
Credo molto nei principi di Fratelli d'Italia, Dio, patria, famiglia, la salvaguardia dei confini. Sono importanti l'aiuto alle imprese, quindi adoro questa leader e spero che diventi presto la nostra premier del Consiglio.
Meloni's party, the Brothers of Italy, won only 4% of the vote in the 2018 election. But when other right-wing parties joined the governing coalition, she stayed in the opposition and has since become a conservative superstar.
I see the woke ideology. Will we surrender in front of this?
This is my favorite thing that like fascists do. They come to America and then they like shit on globalism, which is like, yo, you're in America. Like, what the fuck? First of all, it is the major supporter of globalism, historically speaking. Okay. Not only that, but you're talking to Americans in America about how fucking globalism sucks. What do you mean? You're doing that. You're doing the globalism. Like Viktor Orban did this shit too.
No. Sí a la familia natural. No a los lobby LGBT.
LGBT.
Nella quale le persone che hanno dovuto abbassare la testa per tanti anni, facendo magari finta che la pensavano in maniera diversa, se no sarebbero stati tutti cacciati, possano dire come la pensano.
Those ideas, along with her party's controversial orgies, have many worried about the kind of government she would.
Wait, was the homie just throwing up the fucking...
Along with her party's controversial...
What's this guy doing?
Orgies.
Well, wonder what's happening there, dude. He's just straight up doing it. Hey, it's a history. It's the Roman salute. If anything, Nazis took that from us, huh? Hey, you bullshit. We made that.
Have many worried about the kind of government she would lead.
Miss Meloni, are you trying to bring fascism back to Italy? Just one question.
By the way, I love that. Steven Crowder showed a piece of this video, like just a bitty piece of it, and then immediately was like, they're not fascist.
I fascisti sono morti tutti. Dove sono I fascisti?
Meloni's political career began in the Italian social movement, a party that was founded by fascist allies of Benito Mussolini after the dictator was killed at the end of World War II. Today, Meloni's Brothers of Italy is a direct descendant of that party, even sharing the same tricolor flame logo and headquarters. Her supporters are also latching on to the past, out of frustration with the present. Youth unemployment is among the highest in Europe, and small towns like the one Carbonaro lives in are emptying out.
So Giuseppe, you grew up here.
Niente, sono cresciuto in queste mura e quindi vorrei che San Sepolcro tornasse ad essere una città importante. Si legge nei libri di storia che l'Italia è stato uno dei paesi più importanti, il centro.
Yeah, that overarching like feeling of shame. God, it's such a good way to fucking instill psychotic nationalist sentiment. Like, you have been wronged by especially the Germans, you know what I mean? You've been wronged by the Germans during World War II for your allegiances. That was kind of fucked up, right? And then also you've been wronged again by Germans and their, neoliberal machine in the form of EU. You're no longer as, like, important in the global economy. It used to mean something. It used to mean something to be Italian, you know?
Del commercio sia nel mondo che in Europa.
And you think that Giorgia Meloni and the Brothers of Italy are the ones to fix that?
Credo che Giorgia Meloni possa dare un futuro a noi giovani.
Meloni says she wants to revive Italy's economy through policies like cutting taxes, encouraging citizens to have more kids, and making it harder for foreigners to open businesses. Meloni has also teamed up with the far-right League Party.
I love that last part. It's like, how do we save this country's economy? By cutting taxes and also not making not allowing immigrants to open businesses. Like, okay, it seems weird, but kind of seems like contradicting, but who knows, dude? Doesn't she want to cut UBI and shit too?
And its leader, Matteo Salvini, who spent years...
Or like she wants to cut welfare too, I thought.
Immigrants. Their Italy First agenda is appealing to Carbonaro and his friends.
I think many people might be surprised to hear that you're supporting parties that are not just right-wing, they're far right-wing.
Non per forza se una persona vota a destra è un fascista o ancor peggio un razzista. Il mio interesse è che venga guidata una nazione da persone cui hanno a cuore veramente.
It's just so funny because all three of these dudes would get hate crimed in Germany for being Turkish. You know what I mean? Like, not saying that they do that in Germany, okay? But, like, you know, if they walked into the wrong AFD bar, they would literally be like, you Turkish motherfuckers, get the fuck out of here. But it's like, yeah, we want the white Italianos, you know what I mean? We need to save Italy. They need to be white. It's like, bro, do you see yourself? Like,
Veramente la nazione.
Non sono assolutamente fascista, anzi, ho compagni di calcio neri, di colore.
He said he is. He's like, how can I be fascist? I have black soccer teammates.
Come famiglia abbiamo due fratellini adottati di colore, quindi per noi non ci sono razze di distinzione. Il fascismo, secondo me, è finito nel 1945.
Io non sono d'accordo. Secondo me il pericolo c'è, ce l'abbiamo sotto l'occhio, nella Russia. Il pericolo che possa risuccedere in Gran Casino c'è e mai,
Vabbè, però ha ragione.
e mai come oggi, secondo me. Ma non questo toglie...
Bro, okay, if you're confused, by the way, if you're confused by this, once again, understand that we are all products of our social development and our upbringing. And this is what happens when you're a fucking NATO-pilled fascist, okay? Like, and for the Italian development, for the post-World II development of the Italian right, NATO plays a fundamental role. which is where this comes from. That's why they're like NATO pilled to the fucking gills. And they're like, yeah, well, the real fascism could happen in Russia. By the way, make no mistake, I'm not even saying that that's not the case. I think that like Russia's hyper-nationalist takes, specifically by Vladimir Putin and his cronies and its fucking unjustifiable war in Ukraine, is certainly fucked up. You guys already know this. I've talked about this many times over. But it is interesting because they depart from other pro-Russia fascist movements that you see around the planet, and and the reason for that is because of their own unique history.
Se debba vincere la destra o no?
But are you worried that her very...
Also, someone saying like Italians are not racist, look, we have black soccer players, is pretty funny. You know, because Italian hooligans, not really big fans of the black soccer players. Like, I'm just saying, like, it's just kind of weird that he just dropped that in there when you can find like a million examples of like Italian hooligans like throwing bananas at Balotelli or some shit. You know what I mean? Like, it's just not great. Not great.
Anti-immigrant rhetoric is inflaming tensions in Italy and making the situation more dangerous for migrants, refugees, people of color in Italy today.
Se, dato che comunque sia Meloni, Salvini è quasi 10 anni che fanno...
It's called football. Stop pandering to your American side and embrace your Turkish side. Football. Bro, the C word is bubbling up.
Questi discorsi, se ci fossero dei condizionamenti in negativo sugli italiani e su possibili atteggiamenti razzisti da parte di italiani, questi si sarebbero già visti.
Yeah.
But
yeah, if they had racism, they would have seen it already. But they don't. Owned.
Those attitudes are already having an effect. In July, a Nigerian man named Alika Ogochukwu was beaten to death by a white Italian man, while onlookers recorded the incident on their phones. The video then circulated widely on social media. The attack hit close to home for Omar Fadera, who immigrated to Italy from Gambia 8 years ago.
We are friends, I know him. They just watch, take their phone, making video. He is killing him, beating him to death. Nobody says stop.
What did you think when you were watching the video?
It's the same thing happened to me. Just luckily me, I don't die on that day.
4 years before his friend's killing, Fadera was one of 6 African migrants shot by a white supremacist. The shooter cited anti-immigrant motives for the attack and had previously run for office as a candidate of the League Party. After the attack, he was arrested standing in front of a Mussolini-era war memorial while draped in an Italian flag and making the fascist salute. So how does it feel like for you as a black man in Italy today?
You are not safe. You are not safe and you are not valid. You're just like a dog.
Do you think the racism that you've experienced in this country, do you think it's getting worse?
Yeah, it's getting worse because before it's not like this. But after, when they start to say these kind of things start to change. Every politician you see in this world, he have his way to play to make his politics so that he convince people to vote for him. Immigrant. Okay, Italia is for us. It's a game.
But for you, it's a lot more than a game.
More than game. It's people's life, you understand. Not only me, but people are here in Italy.
In recent months, the Brothers of Italy has toned down its rhetoric, trying to project a more polished image of itself, especially on the international stage.
Bene. Quindi bisogna stare attenti a quello che si dice. Dice ci abbiamo TV americana, attenti a quello che diciamo perché dovete spiegare a tutti, occhio a quello che dichiariamo perché dillo a tutti.
That new image was on full display at this fundraiser for party candidate Guido Castelli.
Quindi l'importante è usare quello che possiamo fare per completare il lavoro di Giorgia Meloni, non facendo errori, ci abbiamo il mondo addosso.
You keep mentioning Giorgia Meloni. What do you think is her appeal exactly?
Se devo rispondere in una parola, la coerenza. La coerenza è una virtù apprezzata. Noi abbiamo 2 problemi. La democrazia che si è inceppata.
They did it I'm from Vicenza, a city north in Italy, and the average man was a local town farmer, Macegliao, and these people were discriminatory even against Southern Italians, which they referred to as North Africans. Yeah, I was going to say, I thought like Sicilians were always discriminated against for having darker skin, and that even internally inside of Italy, they consider Southern Italians to be like, they literally call them black. That's partially the history of like Italians are not white meme comes from, for the record. Yeah. So there is also like internal racism as well.
Che si è bloccata da troppi anni e in secondo luogo il fatto che la gente ha perso la voglia di credere, è spesso demoralizzata.
But many people are also saying that Brothers of Italy is fascist, even neo-fascist.
Not black? You're making that up? No, not like... No, but the same kind of racism towards black people. Like that they're darker skin. There's an old saying, Africa begins at Rome. There's a racist phrase that is said by these nationalists that call Southern Italians the N-word, basically. Not only Sicilians, everything below Rome is Terroni, which is a derogatory term for South Italians. It's the Moors, by the way. Not black. Terroni is a bad word. Sud people. Swarthy, right? Yeah, swarthy.
Is it? Is it a fascist party?
No, assolutamente no. Assolutamente no.
But there is a direct line from the Italian social movement, which was founded by supporters of Mussolini's fascism. Both you and Miss Meloni were members of the Italian social movement. How do you explain that?
Io sono stato parte dell'MSI come Giorgia Meloni anche. Secondo me agli italiani non interessa questo aspetto, è più un aspetto che riguarda una certa sinistra che cerca di recuperare consenso dopo averlo perso in maniera evidente. No, questo problema non c'è.
If Giorgia Meloni and the Brothers of Italy are going to face a serious challenge in this election, it's going to come from the Democratic Party, the country's main leftist party. But its leader, Enrico Letta, has said that he wants to continue the previous government's program. While many Italians are unhappy with the status quo,
Noi abbiamo un appuntamento con la storia di questo paese. L'appuntamento con la storia di questo paese è quello di rovesciare i pronostici, di cambiare il senso dei sondaggi. L'Italia democratica di progresso, progressista, europeista ed ecologista che vuole cambiare la storia di questo paese.
Italy's next.
There's something really funny about people who are like, we hate the status quo, so we're just going to do the most like status quo defending right-wing thing that you can do. In a country that is like going further and further right, we're just going to accelerate that as though that is somehow against the status quo. You're just reinforcing the same like hierarchy, but with a stronger fucking grip of power. So dumb. So incredibly fucking stupid and annoying.
Government will face serious challenges in the form of rising debt and soaring energy prices. Letta is hoping that voters will still have faith in the more established politicians to navigate them through these crises.
Many Italians we've spoken to say they want change. What are you offering them that's different?
We want to continue what we did. It is the point of departure, but then we have to develop it and we have to continue on other issues, social issues, fight against climate change, individual rights.
What does it say about the left in Italy today that it's expected to lose an election to a party with roots in this country's fascist history?
We have to talk with young people. We have to talk with them. We have to convince them to avoid this destiny. Of course, the past also plays a role, but I'm mostly worried about what they want to do today, because if they want to change the role of Italy, the destiny of Italy, putting Italy aside with Orban, with Putin, Bolsonaro, Trump, it is not my Italy.
The word fascism gets thrown around a lot in Italian politics. Is it fair to call Meloni a fascist or a supporter of fascism?
Di origine fascista,